What if I told you that GTA 6 was a lot closer to being completed than we previously thought? You probably wouldn't believe that because, of course, Rockstar hasn't said anything about the game. I mean, well, they said last year that the game was in active development, but they haven't said anything after that. They haven't given us a trailer. They haven't teased it. They haven't said anything on Twitter. But a new report, one that is actually coming from those 90 leaked videos back in September of last year, had some interesting stuff to say. GTA 6 might actually be in its final stages of development. Now, actually, I want to sort of clarify because that sounds like it might be coming out really, really soon, but this final stage of development more than likely is going to take a year or two-ish to complete. But we're going to discuss all of that in today's video. So you might have actually seen this on some pretty popular gaming websites. I think this one was an article on Games Radar. GTA 6 fans believe the game is closer to release than previously thought. Rockstar is thought to be polishing GTA 6 ahead of release. Today, GameSpot had a tweet. New reports claim that GTA 6 developer Rockstar is polishing the game ahead of its imminent launch. What are these reports? Where is this all coming from? So this was a post by Tez2. If you've been following along, you know this guy is. He's a pretty reputable GTA Online leaker. But he dug actually more into the 90 leaked videos that came out couple months back. Obviously that was a whole big thing, but he says, not sure if mentioned before, but checking the tag of each leaked video does reveal the CPU slash GPU and the name of the .exe that is running. And there were two clips, the Americas one, you can see all the numbers. That vid was running on an Intel CPU, the NVIDIA 2080. And the EXE, the important part, said game Win64 bank release.exe. And there was another clip right after it. It was on an AMD processor with the same 2080 GPU. And also it said game Win64 bank release.exe. He said there are other videos running on the game Win64 beta.exe, and one vid was actually running on game Win64_debug.exe. And from his understanding, the bank release is a debug build with functionality aiming to reach feature complete. That or could be the main debug build, while the beta build is sort of the same, but with extra functionality aiming to reach content complete. It's a little confusing. Let's just read through this and I'll explain more. He does clarify that the beta doesn't necessarily mean the game itself is in the beta phase. He says all of the recent videos from those leaks, like the newer ones, were on the bank release build. And those build names go back years to when it was called the Age engine. He says, think of the bank release build as the main debug build, and the beta build is also a debug build, but aimed towards filling the game with content. And just another description that I think might make this a little bit easier to understand. The bank release is a debug build that aims at being feature complete, while the beta adds on extra functionality and aims for being content complete. If you're unfamiliar with those terms, feature complete essentially means the game has full UI functionality and the core gameplay features are there. Content complete means that all of the game's content is now there and playable, but it may be visually unrefined and have lots of bugs and glitches. From a content complete state, the dev team would generally launch into a polishing phase, which can wildly take amounts of time depending on the size of the game and work that needs to be done to bring it up to standard. So if that still didn't really make much sense, the theory here, since the recent videos, the ones that were like later with the date, there was videos from, I think, early 2021, but then there were also videos in the 90 leak videos from sort of middle of 2022. The theory is that the early ones, the ones from 2021, were on the beta release, the beta build. That's where they were sort of adding stuff to the game. That's why some of those videos didn't look the most impressive. But then the newer ones were on the bank release version of the game, because that's when they had all of the content sort of added, but they were just finalizing some of the glitches, bugs, and all those various things, the smaller things that happened once all the features, all the content was in the game. And if you do get to go back and watch some of the footage, some of the footage from those newer videos actually looks pretty fantastic. It actually does look like, if you just take screenshots, I wish I could show them, but if you just look at the gameplay itself, you would not think the game was in like an early stage. It definitely does look very, very complete. And so this is why a lot of us are now thinking that GTA 6 might be in the final stages. Now, because the game is going to be massive, this final stage probably is going to take a year and a half to sort of iron out all those bugs and glitches. But it definitely seems like the game isn't too far away. Realistically, if this sort of final stage was started sort of halfway through last year, it probably is going to take them a year, like I said, a year and a half to sort of iron out all the bugs and the glitches, especially in the giant open world game like GTA 6. So more than likely, we get some sort of trailer this year in 2023 with an actual release of 2024, sometime in 2024. Of course, there's been a lot of memes about the game being delayed, but I think that's why Rockstar has been so silent. They don't want to just constantly delay the games. They don't want to be known as the developer that puts out a trailer, says it's coming out on a certain date, and then they delay it twice, like they've done with Red Dead Redemption 2, and I also believe with GTA. I think they also did it with like the trilogy series, the remasters that came out. They're probably tired of all the delay memes, so this is probably the best route for them. Be silent until the game is relatively done, and then start talking about it. That's actually what Bethesda does with their games. So that is the updates on GTA 6. From those leaked videos, it looks like the game is in its final stages. Right now, the Rockstar developers are probably having a good time playing the game, testing it out, making sure all the bugs are being fixed, and that is pretty exciting. Of course, if there's any other new GTA 6 information, I'll keep you guys up to date. Today, actually later today, is going to be the earnings call. I doubt anything major happens at it regarding GTA 6, but I'll be listening in, and if anything does happen, I'll make another video later today. But that's going to do it for today's GTA 6 video. Thank you all for watching. Please drop it a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.